Yeah, man. So.
Hey, D, who you got in the building, man? Like, whoa.
Oh man, you know, man. This the homie Just Jack. You know what I'm saying? Just Jack.
Represent that OHIO.
I mean, no. See, no. Stop it.
Come on, you got it.
OHIO.
It's the whole lack of teamwork from you that I don't particularly.
Guess who's ranked number one, bro?
Hey, my hat is sexy, ain't it, man?
Guess who's ranked number one, bro? Bro,
I ain't
guess.
watched the Sonics game since GP. I swear, I ain't know they was still here. They still here. GP, where GP at?
Man, like he goes for the big three, man.
Dude, okay, that's about the last time I watched the Sonics.
Man.
Maybe Sean Kemp, maybe.
But we ranked number one now. You saw that poll, right?
No, I didn't see. I wasn't paying attention.
Nah, bro.
Where y'all at?
I don't know, like probably like 3 or 2.
Where the Canadians at?
Canadian.
They 2-3 and what? The Big Ten or they 2-3?
We haven't lost a game in the Big Ten yet, bud.
Okay.
What are you
That was
about?
a strong yes.
I
love the yes.
Because I'm
There's
saying we're
always
lose to the
respect
SEC
to be
again.
found in the
Yeah,
yes.
because we're gonna lose to the SEC again
Yes.
in the playoffs. Like so.
First of all,
anyway,
I'm gonna always cheer for a Big
That's
Ten
what's up.
team over a SEC team. I don't care if it is.
But we gonna tell y'all why she gonna cheer for the Big Ten team.
But-
OHIO.
Okay.
We holla. Yo, we are back in the building. What's up, bro?
What up? How you feeling, man? Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
feel like Beyonce.
Yes, sir. You feel like Beyonce?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just looking at the chips from the
Oh,
side.
that's how you-
What is all this? I'm right here. I exist.
Oh, man. Hey, man. Well, you know what I'm saying? Just chilling, man. How was y'all's week, man?
It was a good week. Bucks won.
OH.
We kind of talked about that a little bit. OHIO. You know, you see the Buck. You in Buckland, bro. Yeah.
Buckeye City.
Michigan won also, man.
Did
You know what I'm
they?
saying? We definitely
Yeah,
want to go
Canada
blue.
coming up. Canada.
Delta victors.
Yeah.
Canada.
2-3
Oh,
classes. Yeah.
You got another fire beat going, bro.
You know, I tried, man. You know, I've been making the beats on my.
I didn't know that.
You know,
That's
I
what's
call it
up.
launch pad. I don't have to show you, man.
Okay.
It's pretty cool, man. You have fun.
Okay.
So, you
Man, I'm gonna start calling you instead of D Nice, D Love.
D-Love. Well,
D-Love.
back in the
What's
day
the
when
switch?
it was a Black Planet, my tag name was D-Lover_82. It really was what you want to do. I was on my emails like, hey, what's up, boo?
Oh.
And my profile pic, I was in my tuxedo from this way again. Shh. Uh-oh, chill out. We don't cuss, though. Then we can go ahead and do that flow, though. ECP, NJJ, you gonna find out who she be, and we be going so smooth. D Nice J and K Key Z for Sheezy. That's how that ooh, I passed the mic. One of y'all gonna get in hype.
Whoa, we gonna do it right. We got JJ in the pocket. We got JJ in the pocket. We got JJ in the pocket. We got JJ. We got JJ in the pocket. We got JJ in the pocket. We got JJ in the pocket. We got the JJ.
JJ, she had that J in school when I was seeing on her. She's like active fool having. Hey, she was. Hey, BCP, that's on the pocket, man. Let's get to it, man.
Man, thank y'all for tuning in.
Hey, man.
Hey, y'all gonna find out why
We
she
gonna
got
find
the
out you
cool,
why-
man. She said straight A's too. Y'all about to,
Straight A's too.
Okay.
y'all about to find out. Man, thank y'all again, man, for tuning in to another moment of the Corner Pocket, man. Follow us on Instagram, the_corner_pocket.
Yep.
Today we have a special guest in the
Absolutely.
building, my man.
Absolutely.
D Nice, you take the wheel, bro. You bring this in, bro.
So, like, you know what I mean? Like, like I said, I don't try to be brag or conceited or anything, but I do know a lot of people because I'm cool with people, man. I'm good people, man. And good people attract other good people. So, you know what I mean? So, back in the day
How
when I
you
was...
explain me if you attract
Well, everybody know I'm crazy.
every once in a while?
And people gonna be like, yeah, she must be crazy. So, nah, man. So, you know, back in high school at, well, I'll say respectful, the mighty Brookhaven High School. Alright, so, you know what I'm saying?
Right?
Absolutely, man. You know, so, which also was Maize and Blue Colors, which she also wore proud. She graduated from Brookhaven with the Maize and Blue Colors.
But it was it was with a winning intention. It was a winning environment.
Your high five got lost.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, it was always a crew though, man. It was always together, man. It was me, my sis Kashana, my brother Buddha. It was Shara Hutchins. What up, sis? It was Damon Moser, and
it was the whole school.
The whole
school.
But the main 7 or 8, and then it was Jessica, right? So
why you say it like that, though?
Because, man, because it's like you wouldn't think this, but if you didn't know her, you wouldn't think this. So,
oh Lord,
here it go.
Man, long story short, we're gonna get into it. Long story short, man, you know what I'm saying? This is the Miss Jackson. Jessica Jackson, y'all, man.
Jessica Jackson, welcome to the Corner Pocket, man. Tell y'all friends, we got Miss Jessica Jackson on the Corner Pocket, man. I'm so excited, man. We had talked to you a little earlier this week on Thursday, and we touched into some things that people are going to be shocked.
Yeah.
Yes, this cute little face right here, you're going to find some stuff out. You may even hear a story about her having her inmate number. No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing. But
inmate 2.
Yeah. So you born and raised and from Columbus?
Born and raised Columbus, Ohio, North Side, Linden side, most of my life, Linden area.
All right.
So yeah, I grew up in. I spent time in several different neighborhoods. So even from Brittany Hills to Oakwood, Southside, but majority of my life has been spent in the Linden area.
Okay, so how was that like growing up in the Linden area in Columbus back then?
So my grandmother had a house in the Linden area, and like we lived. My mom, my mom and my 2 brothers. Majority of my life has been all of us, and then my dad also, when he was in the same home as us, was in the Linden area as well. But, you know, life gets complicated for a lot of people. Majority of my time spent at my grandma's house, who was in the Linden area as well. And her street was like an oasis. Because it was the most peaceful street in all of Linden area. Anybody that knows me will tell you the same thing. So it could be drive-bys happening in the next block. It could literally be a whole hood fight happening a block before us or a block behind us. But for whatever reason, it never touched that street. And the only thing that ever touched that street, it might have been a fist fight over a basketball game. It might have been like a quick question like, yo, you said such and such, but it never got super out of control on that street. And so I was blessed by that, because God knows it could have went any other way. Especially my grandmother lived a couple blocks from Linden McKinley.
Okay.
Right? So Howard, rest in peace. A lot of people don't know, he and I knew each other actually before kindergarten, because he was the next block over. And so whenever they wanted to do like a peaceful baseball, because God knows he wasn't about to play basketball, whenever he wanted to play with somebody peacefully, he would just go a block over. And we did that even as young kids.
Wow.
So, and I say that, you know, rest in peace to Howard. His birthday was just yesterday. That's why it popped in my mind. But so we had grown up right there in that little peaceful community, like one block. One whole block. Everything else, war. But this one block, it's like neutral.
That's crazy to hear that about Linden back then, because like now it's kind of like off the hook right now. And for you to say like it was like a little oasis, that little section. What did you like most about, like, did you feel secured in that oasis area? And what important role did your grandma play in like instilling things into you?
My grandmother, I didn't realize how important she was to me until I got older. So when I was younger, how can I say? That was probably, I would say, at least when I hit maybe 10 or 11 years old, it became like the only place I really wanted to be.
Right.
It was the safest place for me, like even as, because it was the most, it was consistent, it was stable, we knew like there was always a place at my grandmother's house, and it wasn't just her grandchildren that felt that way. It was her sisters, her brothers, her nieces, her nephews, her cousins, everybody. Right. I had a cousin, God rest his soul, would be like, listen, I always know whenever I come, that's my spot. I'm gonna sleep right there. It was underneath the kitchen table. Okay, he ain't care, or the dining room table. He ain't care as long as he knew. Everybody knew that was his spot. But that's how my grandma kind of was. Everybody had that special place that made you feel like he was the only person that existed. Now, like I said, our relationship really got great. I want to say when I was in high school.
Okay.
And it was the first time I remember her being proud of me. Right? And it was because of basketball and stuff. And so a lot of people don't know, I was ranked in the state. At all times. Ever freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, I was ranked top 5, always 1, 2, or 3, or always one of the top 3 actually. And so for her, that was really big. And then I guess it became even more big for her. I took my senior photos and stuff, and she sent them out to her sisters and whatnot. And everybody's calling, gushing over this grandchild, that they never really paid attention to growing up. So for her, it was just kind of like stick my chest out type deal. And I really felt it, that she only ever made it to one basketball game. Because being out at night and in the cold and stuff, that wasn't for her. Yeah. But that one time, man, that it was against Mifflin, lit my whole world up. So my grandma was my world. My grandma was my heart. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Like, a lot of people, always have that type of an influence, man. Like an uncle or grandma or grandpa. Like, I had an uncle and like my grandma also was an influence and was one on me too. So, I feel where you're coming from when you were saying that, like, yeah, you're so proud. Because I remember when my grandma had got sick. And we had a track meet. This was in middle school. I was at Franklin Middle School, and it was raining and pouring and everything. Man, I had told my mom, I had called her like, yeah, don't bring grandma out here. Like, it's gonna be, she gonna get sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. So no, she saying she want me. Like, well, so it was something that my mom was like, she felt like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and we gonna come. So they came to the track meet. It's raining, like it's like. Them and then like 2 other people, and like when I looked up and see, I'm like, oh wow. So man, I ran that 200 so crazy, man.
It do something different to you, don't it? You like lose your whole head.
I mean, oh man. So yeah,
it's not even. It could have been 85 college scouts, and it wouldn't have mattered because my girl. So you out there.
Yeah.
Right. Block this, block that. Where you on? So you try to be as impeccable as possible, and that was like my, I don't know, it was like everything in the world, and so, and not to say that my parents weren't, because they definitely were too. Like I love my parents to death, but even me now, their grandparents, I don't matter. Their grandkids do. And my son to come off the football field, it's like, was Papa there?
Right.
And I'm like, but I was here too. Like, boom, here, brain doing. Sniffle.
Right.
I didn't hear
Sniffle.
Yeah, but with Papa there.
Heck no.
Y'all, it's true, man. Something like about a grandmother's love, man. Like, like I have a granddaughter. And it's like the kids be like, "What you get us for Christmas?" I'm like, "No, what I get Charlotte for Christmas?" Like,
why do you?
I don't know. It's a different type of love, man.
It's a blessing to be able to say, and my parents know. I both say this out of so much love and respect. They're better grandparents than they ever were better parents. All of a sudden, they got McDonald's money.
Right. That's the truth, though, man. Like,
she hit on something, bro. She hit on something.
I'll be like, wait a minute, because you was telling me about light bills. And it was just
man. My man, like I brought $5. Well, I don't get paid till next Friday. But
then come here. I need some new Jordans.
But here you go. My way. I don't want it far. Oh, I can't get a big Buford. Oh, all right there.
A Buford, spell Buford.
So you said something that was pretty dope. You said you were all state, like freshman, sophomore, junior, and
I was ranked state.
You was ranked state.
Ranked state, freshman, sophomore, junior. Yeah.
How did that Were you humbled about it? How did that make you?
Oh man, I had such a deep love for the game that I didn't even know I was ranked. Okay. So what's so crazy is when I first came to Brookhaven, nobody knew where I was. Nobody knew what high school I had went to because I didn't know it was a big deal. Okay. My whole thing in going to Brookhaven is I wanted to go wherever Helen Darling had played.
Yeah.
That was my thing. And so because I was at Crestview, and Brookhaven was like this big deal to us, you know, and from elementary school to middle school. So that was all I knew, and none of the coaches even knew that I was at Brookhaven. It was crazy. Bird came and she was like, "Have you?" It was just a random day at school. It was probably within the first 3-4 weeks, or so maybe. And she goes, "Have you met the coaches yet?" I was like, "No." You know, Tiff, you know, who I came from Crestview with. We always played together. And so she's like, "Have you met the coaches yet?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Come on, I'm gonna take you to meet them." So she takes me to one of them, and it was Coach Lee.
Okay.
Coach Lee was like, "We had no idea you were here." I was like, "Oh, okay." Didn't know it was known. Nice to be known.
All right.
Hello. Then he takes me over to probably one of the funniest characters I've ever met in my life, Coach Rob.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I'm just him, man.
Man, it's just that, oh God, because Shada probably do his voice the best.
Yeah, she do, man.
With them, you know, the tinted, the brown tinted glasses. Like, who are you looking at, Coach Rob?
Real though.
But take me over to Coach. They were like, "Oh, okay, so you know we got open gym this and that." I was like, "All right." Man, my mom had never really seen me play basketball until open gym in Brookhaven my freshman year.
Oh, yeah?
And mind you, I played my whole life, even if it was outside. I never really played against girls because there was always boys around.
Right.
And so she takes me to my first open gym. My mom has never driven a day in her life, so she got up early, put a weed on the Coda bus, dropped off at Brookhaven, and she was like, "Well, I'll just stay and watch, and afterwards we'll go across the street to Northland." I'm like, "All right, bet." So when she goes in the gym, mind you, my freshman year, everybody that was trying out for Brookhaven, it was at that time they had announced they were going to do a freshman, JV, and varsity team.
Yeah.
When I say, like, you know how the sideline, you pull the bleachers back, and it's a whole big sideline there. That whole side was stacked with girls trying to try out for Brookhaven's team, and this was just an open gym.
Wow.
It was nuts. And so we all just warming up and stuff, and then coach was like, "Okay, line up here, and we're going to pick squads, and we'll just play at these courts." You know, it was a side auxiliary course, and then, you know, we'll split up that way, and whoever makes it last, they'll do full, you know, whatever the case may be. So my mom's sitting there, and she said she was amazed at how many people were there, but then turned around, and I guess because, you know, we played basketball in the gym during lunchtime or after lunch and stuff like that, so that's when a lot of people really got to see me play a little bit.
Yeah.
And so by that time, people had knew my face, and I was already getting picked for the lunch games and stuff. Anywho, fast forward back to, you know, this open gym, and they split the teams up. They called out some captains, split the teams up. I was the third person to be picked. My mom was like,
Excuse me?
she was like, "My child."
Right.
And so it went from that point. I've literally always, I've had no choice but to be humble, because girls in the team will keep you humble. They'll always let you know you ain't nothing. You know, it's just always been that type of way between us. Like, "Oh, you think you something? We in practice, we gonna handle you." You know, whatever the case may be. Right. But there's no way you could have it, because anybody at Brookhaven's girls team, from the first 5 to the next 5, could start anywhere. Could start anywhere.
Yeah, like Brookhaven stayed loaded, man.
Yeah.
Like all sports.
So it was just like a sports school? Like
Track, football, basketball, baseball. The only thing you could probably beat us in is in the know.
Probably.
You gonna get us in the know, maybe.
I ain't know nothing. Don't ask me nothing. You know, Dave, nothing. Nope. I'm not about mind my business. That's all I know.
I was shocked when we found out that we had a golf team. I was like,
"Yeah, we had
what?
a golf team."
Y'all had a golf team?
It was 2 people. We had a golf team, a cross country team, and even our cross country team. There was this dude named Shamarki. He was not Ethiopian, Somalian. He was killing the city in cross country. So even our cross country team, we like, "Oh, okay, show."
Right.
Like when they announced it in the morning, that was just our school.
Wow.
Loaded with athletes.
So, you know, you started at a young age playing basketball, right? You said in the neighborhood. Like, what advice would you give a young lady that's trying to pursue, like, they're in high school now, and they have aspirations to go to college to play ball? What advice would you give that young lady?
Woman to woman, what I would say, woman to young woman, first and foremost, know your body. Because you could train like a man all you want. You're still a woman. Okay? And
Take
at
a
the
sip
end,
on that one.
Yeah,
so,
that's deep.
well, the thing about it is our bodies go through changes that men do not. So if you don't feel good, don't think it's because you're not pushing hard enough. Go find out why you don't feel good.
Exactly.
Okay? And it's nothing to be ashamed about. You're going to go through changes literally until God call you home. All right? Especially as a woman. So know your health, know yourself. You know, that's the first thing.
Right.
The second thing is don't, if you don't have a love for the game, just stop. Just say that. Just say that you don't have a love for the game.
That's deep.
You know, it's nothing. There are people who play it simply to get to say that they had something on there. You know, their college resume, or people who play it because they quote unquote like the sport. But your teammates love the sport. And for some, especially for me, that was intended to be our way out.
Right.
Don't mess it up for everybody else. You know, just and know that and be real and be genuine about that. And then the other thing is that the bonds that you create will last forever. So don't think that these are just your teammates solely in high school.
Yeah.
These are your sisters. This is
That's
your
what's up,
fam
man.
for life.
That's
You know,
fine.
and that's how I know if you see me on Facebook, Instagram, them is my sisters.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
to this day, you talking 20 plus years in,
Yeah, that's what's up.
later. Yeah, I'm talking about me and Telly like this.
Yeah.
We used to be like this
Right.
every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like verbal. That's my rolling. And so it's just kind of one of those things that Telly is a teammate. Just one of those bonds, impeccable. You can't replace them.
Wow, man. D, just sitting here listening to this, man, it kind of takes you back to high school.
Oh, yeah.
We all played sports in high
Yeah.
school.
What did you play?
Did football,
Football.
track, and it was pretty cool. I'm from Youngstown City Schools. Repping in the building.
You made it out.
Man,
Listen. Hey, a lot of people don't know Youngstown was
Praise
murder
the
capital. Okay?
beat the statistics for real.
It was like Gary, Indiana, and Youngstown was fighting to be
Yeah.
number one for death rate
Yeah.
on everything.
Yeah.
So
Man, because you played football too, D, right?
Yeah.
You remember them Friday nights, man?
Oh yeah.
I loved it, man. And just hearing you going back, it just takes me back to
Right.
like coming out the tunnel Friday night football,
Absolutely.
getting ready for the track meets.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is just like wow, you know, time flies. It just seemed like I was just sitting in 8th period, man, senior
Right.
year, and now we like adults with our own kids and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I know. I was just sitting here reflecting too. And she's reflecting. Oh, that's when she got dead. Dad, I come remember when she beat this dude up, man.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah, see. Yeah,
Hold on,
you
bro.
thought we was gonna go there, and we were. I told you we was
Hold
gonna
on,
go
bro.
get you some
So,
water. Yeah.
so hold on, y'all want to hear about them fish? You gotta come back for
Yeah.
part
I
2.
plead the
We gonna talk about them pawns on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
In
why-
part 2.
Bath.
I should have had a song ready.
That's
The
a good segue, man. You got Mike Tyson's punch out. Ding, ding,
Oh,
ding,
yeah.
ding.
First of all, why?
Yeah, I like that, D. I see what you did there, bro.
Uh-huh.
I see what you did there, my
I'm
guy.
talking all that mess, you know what I'm
I
saying?
just-
So, yeah, now you gotta put your gloves on, man. And,
My gloves is retired.
Y'all about to see in part 2 what happened with the pawns, man. Hey, D, man. It's good, man. We got JJ in the building, man.
Hey,
Get ready.
Hey, come back to part 2. But anyway, though, hey man, find us on Instagram, _corner_pocket. I said that right. The underscore corner.
Corner pocket.
Yeah.
Underscore.
I'm tweaking, man. I want to see. I'm talking about this fight and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you can find us on Facebook, man. The Corner Pocket. We on TikTok, man. Hey, man, share it to everybody, man, and stuff. So we back for part 2, man. Peace. See you in part 2.
About to put them paws on you.